Okay, well, hi everybody. Welcome to our sneak peek look at the new board game app coming out this Thursday, so just 2 days from now, for Terra Mystica. It's being developed by Digidice, which I was super excited to hear because Digidice, in their short time around, has really impressed me with the quality of their work. They've done the Patchwork app, as well as the Le Havre Inland Port and the Agricola All Creatures Big and Small apps. So they built up quite a little pedigree for themselves in developing high quality board game apps that were highly playable, true to the original, and made playing the games so much fun. Um, and of course, Terra Mystica, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, this is a big board game. This is a heavier game about terraforming this world. You take on different fantasy races and roles that have different abilities, and you're kind of building up your little empire, for lack of a better term. It's definitely weightier. This is an award winning board game, all sorts of awards. I think it was a Golden Geek Board Game of the Year. It is a Kennerspiel recommended game as well. A great nod from the infamous Spiel des Jahres team over in Germany and whatnot from there. Well, Digidice has this wonderful board game app coming out, and I just wanted to give everybody a quick sneak peek at it. Now, I'm going to start off by saying I am terrible at this game. I've played it a number of times in real life and I love it. I own it. It's over there on my shoulder, over there. It's a really fabulous game, deeply engaging, so many different things going on, and I'm horrible at it. So one of the things I'm really excited about with the board game app is an opportunity to practice it a little bit and get better at this game. So for today's sneak peek, because it's a heavier game and a longer game, I'm actually really just going to try to focus on highlighting some of the features of the app and showing you a little bit of what the app can do so that you can get a good gauge of whether you think it's a good fit for you or not. So that's my plan. I'm going to walk you through some of the features of the app. Feel free to ask any questions if you're joining, and obviously, I'm going to have this up on YouTube. This is a live stream on Twitch, but for those of you who may be watching it later on YouTube, if you see some weird interactions, that's why you're picking up on all that. So, with that said, let's move over to the app here and get that ready. Alrighty, so let's load it up. It's got this beautiful app icon up here. And one of the things, I actually have an older iPad at this point. I have an iPad mini Retina 2. And one of the things about this iPad is it's getting a little dated. And, that's okay. The good news is it still plays all the apps that I want it to. But sometimes its performance is a little slower. I wouldn't necessarily ding the app for that. I've actually played Terra Mystica a lot on my phone as well. And actually, I can pull that up for you just to show you here. Terra Mystica, as a big game, it's a tough one to put on the phone. But I think all considering, they do a really good job of it. I'm just pulling up a local game here so that you can see what it looks like. Ooh, such dramatic music. So let's just pick one just to get up. So I'm just going to show you this, if you can see this, on my phone as well. So it fully plays on my iPhone. This is an iPhone 7. It plays really fast, really well. It is teeny tiny, but I think Digidice made some phenomenal choices in how they implemented some of the UI to help make it easier to play on a phone or on a tablet. Great. So let's go back to the app here real quickly. And we're going to load this up and get rolling. So it's got some really dramatic music. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the music off. Let's see there. You'll see that there's some gameplay speed options here. I have it at normal. There's a slow and a fast. So I'm just going to go normal style here. But if you want a fast option, I really love that they included that. As with all of Digidice games, they've set up their own proprietary account system. So if you have a Digidice account, you can play Terra Mystica, Patchwork, Agricola, All Creatures Big and Small, etc., against friends. For those of you who are curious, the app will be released on iOS, Android, and Windows 10. It is planned for Steam as well, but that's probably not going to release on the 20th this week at the same time. I know that they're trying to get it green lit on Steam. So if you're interested in seeing Terra Mystica on Steam, please head on over to Steam and green light that sucker so that we can get this wonderful app there as well. There's going to be, so to that point, there's going to be online ranked games. There's going to be casual games that you can play with just friends that have an account. And of course, you can play locally. So what I'm going to do is that here's the local game screen. You'll see that they have a few AIs available right now. They have what they've basically allocated as easy AIs. And you'll note that coming soon, they have a medium and a hard AI. At release, they are going to really be focusing on just the three AIs that they've got built in. They are working diligently on uber AIs, on really challenging AIs. I'm excited about their plans. That is in development and it will be released as a free update to the app when the super hard AIs are ready. So if you are a Terra Mystica junkie and you've got them all beat and things like that, then you can pick up the app now, get to know the AI and things like that, and then explore the harder AIs when they release later. So you can play up to, I'm just going to go ahead and just drag. You just pick your, I'm actually going to, do that. The other thing I wanted to point out here is at the bottom, they have the map selection. They have a couple of options in here. They have implemented the rules according to the most recent errata and rule sets. Terra Mystica is a few years older now. There's been a few rules updates to nerf some things, etc. All those latest rules and errata are implemented in the app, but for those players who are more familiar with the older rule set, they actually put that as an option here, which again, a really thoughtful detail from them, I think. All right, let's hit play there. I just got a little quick 3-player thing. We'll go back to, there is a tutorial in this as well. So if you aren't familiar with the game, you can try to learn it here. I get to pick my character. You'll see they have all the different characters available in the base game. Ooh, giants would be fun. But I'm going to go with the witches. So I just clicked on the witches here. And now what you're really seeing is the player board. And this is very, very design-wise, it's very similar to exactly what you would see if you had the physical board game with all of your buildings laid out, etc. Now, there's those 2 little arrows to the kind of at the bottom center of this placard. When I click on that arrow, it's going to switch out and it's going to show you the top half of that player board where your power bowls are and a couple of other key pieces of information about your character. And then finally, if I click on the arrow one more time, you're going to see the information about that particular fantasy race that you're taking on. So a little backstory, it gives you their special abilities, and then it gives you their second. So that center one there is their kind of base ability, and then the second one is when you unlock a building type, you get this second ability as well. So all of the information is right there. It's very clean, bright, very familiar, etc. Is it possible to see the scoring tiles before choosing your action? I couldn't see. That is a great question from Tabercarn in the chat. One of the things you can do, the scoring tiles are accessible, and what I was doing was tapping in the upper right, where you see it's, I know it's, this is small and they're cramming a lot on the screen. In the upper right, there's a little icon that says 06, and if you tap on that, it displays the scoring tiles for the game. So to your point, before you pick a race, you kind of have a sense of what's coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the witches. Tap on the one I want. I kind of click that green check. So again, you can click through all of those races before you finally select. So if I wanted to look at the other races, which I probably should have done for purposes of showing them to you, oops, you can look through them before you lock in your selection. So now the game's just going to walk you through. You can see the full board here. This should look very standard. It does walk you through I like that one of the things in the app is that it's going to guide you through kind of what the steps are you're supposed to take, but then it has these checks in there. So, is this really what I want to do? Yes, I'm going to click the check mark and I'm going to drop it. This kind of goes through the big kind of move your turn forward button pops up. And this kind of goes through like Catan placement, where you go clockwise and then counterclockwise as well. So the AIs are going to be taking their turns and placing their dwellings as well. The board looks really familiar. The art is very familiar. Everything for somebody who plays Terra Mystica in real life should feel comfortable for you in this one. Let's see here. Come on, cultists. Put your dwelling down. There we go. All right. And oh my goodness. What do you think? Should we go over here? So again, I'm not going to really focus on playing this game. One, because I think there's so much in the game that I just want to show you. I don't want to get bogged down in actually playing smart turns and having to think. And two, even if I was thinking, it would be such a public humiliation. I'm going to go ahead and avoid that in general. All right, so the pop down comes up for where we pick kind of the turn order tiles. It gives a special ability. I'm going to pick the one that gives me... Oh, no, the cultist got to go before me. Oh, now it's my turn. Of course, it prompts me. The cultist took the one I wanted. Darn it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take money. Money's always good, right? Each round of Terra Mystica, there's a different scoring condition at the end of the round. So it's just a little visual prompt there. All of your income is allocated. Again, it's one of the nice things about an app, right? All of this math is done for you. I like that the app animates it for you so you kind of see who's getting what, etc. All right. So now to take a turn in this app, all the actions are really managed in your placard. So you'll see at the top of the screen, it prompts you. So it's kind of, again, guiding you through the UI, which because there's so much going on, I think that that's a nice touch. So let's tap on my witch. And there you go. There's my action wheel. All the actions that are available to me are displayed. The game itself will X out any actions that are not available to me. So, for example, I can't upgrade a ship right now. It won't let me do it. You can pass the turn. I can click on each action. And again, it gives me a little description of what the action is on the left. I just noticed Salty Horse in the chat mentioned that there are really great animations on the faction icons, and there's little subtle details that Digidice add to the game that kind of enhanced it a little bit and made it really pretty. So back to the action selection here, you can click on each action icon, and over there on the left, it's going to tell you what the action does. So if you ever forget or anything like that, it's right there for you. You don't have to worry about it. So, well, let's build a dwelling, shall we? It's going to cost me, over on the right, it says it's going to cost me 3 workers. And up on top, you'll see I have 21 gold, 6 workers, 0 power available, like open power, my 3rd power. And shoot, what's the 3rd one? I can't remember. Well, of course, that's typical. When I'm on camera, I'm going to forget everything. All right, so now I'm going to place my next dwelling. Terraform and dwell. So as a witch, my home territory is a forest. Part of Terra Mystica is the terraforming. So I need to pick a place to put a dwelling. But first I have to transform it or terraform it into my land type. Let's go here. Okay, I'm not going to think about it. Just do it. Okay, there we go. So again, it confirms what you want to do. There's this kind of land type wheel, and so each land type has a relationship to the other land types around it, and the cost to terraform it is different depending on how distant it is from the land type that you're trying to terraform. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK on this one because it's really close. Stone is just one step away from forest. Bloop. It terraforms it. Kabat. Ta-da. Shida in the chat is asking, what hardware is this? I am running this on my iPad Mini 2 Retina. So my device, I mean, it's old enough that it doesn't have the fingerprint checker on it. And do I want to place a dwelling? Heck yeah, I want to place a dwelling. So it takes the cost right out of it. And there we go. I have found I also have an iPhone 7 that I've been playing Terra Mystica on. The app does perform better on my iPhone 7. It is a little bit speedier than it is on the app, the device I'm showing you right now. But as you'll see on my iPad mini, it's run totally fine and I haven't really had any problems with it. All right, my turn's done. I'm going to click OK. Sorry about that. While the AI is taking its turn, I want to point out some of the features down at the bottom. Unfortunately, there's really no way for me to zoom in on this, so you'll have to bear with me. But here in the bottom, under each character, there's a bunch of information that's available at a glance if you are familiar with it. So that's definitely one thing that you have to kind of get used to is understanding the iconography down there. But heck yeah, I want power. Um, oh, there's adjacency things in Terra Mystica. When somebody builds next to you, you can get power pellets. I know they're not called power pellets, but come on, what else are you going to call them? So down here in the bottom, oh, the cult track just popped down for the AI. Sorry about that. Down here on the bottom, there's a bunch of information. So your points are highlighted in the gold starburst there. Right now, I have 18 points. And that's the number you're seeing there. Your shipping availability is there to the upper right of my witch icon. The available spades actions that you have is below that. And then down below, you really do have a quick snapshot peek at all of your stats. So that in a very small, thin row, your Power Bowl statistics are displayed there. Again, this is the row right below my witch um, faction icon here or faction character, and you'll see it shows in bowl number 1 I have 3, in bowl number 2 I have 9, in bowl number 3 I have 0. So that's the way the app kind of gives you a one-shot thing on the screen of what you've got going on there. And then below that it shows I have 19 gold, 2 workers, 7 priests, and then in the far right there, again, it's very small, but it is readable. It shows the cult track status and any points that I currently have available to me on the cult track. That is just the way that the developers chose to summarize everything on the playable screen so that it's there for you to look at and quickly reference if you need to. But of course, that is teeny tiny and it doesn't really highlight what's going on. So I wanted to then go through the top of this app where everything is quickly accessible to you. So first up, I'm going to start from the top left and move my way to the right. And top left here, we've got our power bowls here. So the power bowls will show you in just numbers what I have in each bowl. So I have 3 pellets in number 1 bowl, 9 in my number 2 bowl, and no pellets in my number 3 bowl. And then to the right are all the power actions that you could take. And again, actions that you cannot afford because you don't have enough pellets are not highlighted. But if I wanted to, I could take any of those actions as well. So the power bowls are available to you. The available keys, and this comes later in the game, and this app walkthrough really isn't designed to teach you the game at all. The tutorial in the game can teach you the game, or obviously there are videos and things like that. So if this doesn't have context for you, I apologize, but for those of you who are familiar with the game, here's where you can access the information about the available keys as well. So there's a quick, with just one tap away, and it has a little key icon. You can see what's available there. The next one over is a scoring summary, and it kind of shows you where everybody's at on all the different elements of the board. And so that is a handy thing to peek at. I personally almost never look at it because it just shows me how poorly I'm doing. But, you know, for those of you who are more strategic in this game than I am, there you go. The next one over are the turn action tiles. I forget what they're actually called in the game, but at the end of the round when you pass, you get to take one of these available tiles. They show in the iconography that matches the real life game what the different actions are for each of those, and then on the top, for action tiles that aren't taken, gold is added to them each round to make them a little juicier to take. And so you can see how much gold is on any given tile. I like that they put it above it so it's not confusing with the gold on the action itself for some of these tiles. Skipping over, the next one is just kind of what players are involved. It's and whose turn it is. The next one over are the oh shoot, what are these called? Favors. Maybe somebody in the chat remembers what these are called. These are the tokens that you get as you ascend up the cult track. And you can see all the ones that are available. When you take one of these, and I'm not sure if we'll get through it in this demo, those little dark dots underneath each of the tile, it'll show the icon of the player or of the character that's already taken that, so you know what's been taken. You can also see from the number of icons underneath each tile how many of those actions are available. So, for example, on the bottom row with those cult track actions, there's only one of each of those available. And the next one over is the cult track itself. So here it shows the full cult track. You do have to scroll. So I'm just going to scroll a little bit here, and you can see all the way up to the cult track, to that number 10, that coveted number 10 of the cult track, the sacred ovals. Salty Horse says the sacred ovals. I'm going to go with maybe not the sacred ovals, but I will look that up later for sure. Here in the cult track, it shows you all the positions. I think, the little faux wood markers here show your position on the track. It mimics very much what's in real life. When players start to put their priests here, a little priest meeple icon does cover up those relevant numbers at the bottom of the track. So you see who is in what track and what track that they were working. Finally, there are the power to use some of the power actions. That's the next one over. So if you have any of these power actions that you want to spend your power tokens on, you can select them here. And finally, over on the very, very far right, these are the scoring tokens. So it's a 6-round game. You can see the 6 rounds here. The current round is highlighted, so you can see that at the end of this round, for every it's not a dwelling, it's for every upgraded dwelling, you will get 3 points, and then for people who are up to the number 4 level on the blue track, the spirit track, I think, they will get a spade. And so each one of those, you can kind of see and plan ahead, because obviously if there are conditions for extra scoring, you want to work that round to make sure. Trading posts, thank you. My chat is the best because I can't remember any of the proper terminology, although I'm still questioning sacred ovals. All right, so that is how the app makes the game information available to you at a relatively quick glance. It has a series of trays accessible. I think that the iconography that they use for the different trays at the top, especially if you know the game, are very well done. It's very obvious. The 4 different colored circles are the cult track. The golden ovals are the sacred ovals. The little oblong rectangles are the tiles, etc. So I really think that, considering how much is going on in Terra Mystica, the app made some really smart choices. So between that little summary area for your character at the bottom of the screen, next to your factions icon, and then the icons at the top that allow those quick access information trays, I think that they did a good job condensing all that information. And of course, if you are curious about your character at any given time, you can just tap on the character and see what's going on with it. And I showed you this earlier, but there you go. You can also tap on opponents' characters as well. So here we're taking a quick look at the engineers. So if you're ever curious about the engineers, if you want a closer look at what they're doing, what they've got going on, you can click on their character as well and cycle through all their character information. So again, all the information is there for you. It is pretty intuitive on how you access it. All right, I'm supposed to be doing something here. Probably taking an action right now. Should we upgrade something? Let's upgrade something. Why not? So I pick the upgrade action. It highlights what I can upgrade. If I upgrade next to that trading post, the dude's going to get... All right, I'll upgrade next to a trading post. Let's do it. Let's build up a little town, right? Again, my costs are instantly taken away. And a trading post makes sense because the end round scoring there, gives you points for a trading post. So there we go. Let's see, what else do we want to take a look at? Honestly, we can go through a few more actions here, and then I'll probably want to show you the tutorial as well, just so you can get a sense. I know Terra Mystica can be a really intimidating game. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to learn and to teach, and that can be tough. So the fact that they have a very deep tutorial here, I think is excellent. Do I want to? Of course, I want to gain power points early on. 1 victory point. Psh, psh. And I mean, since I lose this game by like 40 victory points at any given time, losing one more doesn't matter. All right. The other thing you may not, that I just want to call attention to, at the bottom of this screen, there's a little ticker that is telling you what's going on in the game. So it's the turn of the engineers, is what it says right now. So if you're live streaming your game and get to chatting and you forget where you are, you can always check the app and it'll tell you at the bottom what's going on there. Boop, bloop, bloop. It is my turn. Press my portrait to take an action. Boy. I don't really want to. Let's see. What are my power bowls? Let's take a look. I'm so close to getting power, but not quite yet. Should we pass? Should we upgrade shipping? I really don't want to upgrade. Oh, wait, I'm just playing. Never mind. Let's take this action just to show you what it does. Okay. Let's get money. We've got plenty of money. Let's get a cultist, shall we? Or a priest. I guess that's a priest. Ta-da! Is there a full activity log? That is a great question. I do not know the answer to that, and I apologize. We will take a look through the rest of the app in a second here to see if we can find one. Or I could just tap on it and show it to you. Haha. Do I want? Yes, I want all the power. I am power mad. So, Tabercorn, all I did to get to this little log here is I tapped on the actual ticker at the bottom of the screen. And that's pretty intuitive. I didn't know it existed. It made sense that it would be there, and I tapped it, and it was. So there is your full activity log if you want to go back. Oh, and it looks like Digidice just joined the chat as well. Well, there you go. If you have any questions, you can always ask Digidice. Again, since Digidice just joined, I'll take this opportunity to remind you that this app is releasing on iOS, Android, and Windows on the 20th. It will be released for a price of $9.99 in the US. Considering press an action, what am I going to do here? Ooh, I'm definitely going to go up the cult track. So I picked the cult track. Now here I'm going to pick which track I want to go up. I'm going to pick the blue track, spirit track, because that is the one that will score. And so you see the game takes care of it. I moved up. I get a power because I crossed the power threshold. Ta-da! It's going to release for $9.99. The expansion, Fire and Ice, is in development. It won't be available at release, but it will be available later as an add-on. So I think it's pretty exciting that they're already delving into that as well. And there are plans to release it on Steam, but they could probably use a little help green-lighting that. So if you go over to Steam, if you have a Steam account, go over there and green-light the Terra Mystica app for Steam so that we can get it on that platform as well. You are able to play online against friends competitively or non-competitively. You can play on your own device against friends as pass and play, or of course there are multiple AIs in the release version, but there will be more difficult and challenging AIs being released as free updates to the app in the future. I'm going to go ahead and pass. So I click on it. Passing is free. Yay, a free action. I love free. I don't really want to ship. Should we go dwelling? Let's go dwelling. Let's build some dwellings, shall we? All right. Hopefully you've seen as we've going through, the graphics are sharp and beautiful. Somebody called out earlier that some of the colors, when you put the icons on the different tiles, it can be a little hard to see them. You know, I can see that point. I think when I look at it, I think the graphics are really high res and pretty easy to see. That hasn't been a particular complaint of mine. There's some shading and things on them that help them stand out from the background of the tile. I love all the little animations too. Those are super fun. All right, it's my turn. What are we scoring here? So I didn't remember what we were scoring, so I wanted to check on that. So I just tapped in the upper right for the scoring the round tiles, and there they are. You'll see that we're in round 2 because that's what's highlighted. Ooh, spades. So I'm going to click on for more detail. 2 victory points per spade I spend this round. And every step in the earth cult. Well, I didn't want to work the earth cult, darn it. All right. Let's figure out what I'm going to do here. I wanted to build some dwellings, right? So let's build some dwellings. Got all this money, honey. It's awesome. Let's terraform this water. I know water is 1 step away from my home territory. It's going to cost me... There we go. Ta-da! More forest for my witches. Yes. I want to place a dwelling. Now, because I didn't have enough resources, it took my power pellets instead, which is a game rule. And there we go. Any other questions? Let me know if you have any questions about the app itself. What I'm going to do is exit out of this game. I think that we walked through a lot of the actions. We walked through a lot of the interface and UI so that you could kind of see where everything is and talked through all of that. I definitely want to exit out here. I'm hitting the settings buttons on the bottom to go back out to the menu because I definitely want to get a little bit of the tutorial in here as well. You can save multiple games, so you can play multiple games locally or online. Down here with the clever little cap is the tutorial, and you'll see it's broken out into chapters, which I love. I love quick access tutorials. I think that that's always a good feature. So it is interactive. They've added a little bit of flavor into it with these characters that are talking you through the app, which I think is fun, and it kind of adds a little bit of personality to the tutorial experience. But you can see in this, I honestly didn't even look at what I clicked on. Oh, the character's talking you through 2 of the trays that expand out from the right and the left. You can see the little blue dot. This is how this particular tutorial guides you through it. It's actually kind of using these blue dots to guide me into the action that it wants me to, which I think is great. So I'm going to go, there's also a link to the website. Let's go back. Let's exit out of the tutorial. Yes, I want to quit the tutorial because I want to go back and show you the intro, basics, advanced actions. So they have it all broken out here. I'm going to click on basics. Hayashida. Thank you for your pronunciation guide. I appreciate it. So again, the tutorial is telling you about the factions, why they're important, etc. It guides you through it, and then it's guiding you using those dots on what to do. So again, this is an app tutorial that tries to teach you both the interface and the game, which I think is always helpful. Salty Horses, officially our naming friend today, the Blue Orb of Guidance. Thus it is dubbed. The Blue Orb of Guidance says I should click on the green check mark, so I shall. So there you go. A really nice interactive tutorial there as well. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. Obviously, I don't think we need to walk through the whole tutorial here, but I wanted to really point that out because if you are new to Terra Mystica and are looking to the app to help teach you the game, I think that the tutorial will do a really good job of that. Will it teach you all the intricacies and all the complexities of strategy? Will it tell you, oh, you have to make sure you're watching that cult track because otherwise it's really easy for somebody to run away with? No, I mean, the tutorial is not going to teach you all the strategic points, but it will teach you both the basic game rules as well as how the app interacts and where all that information is. So I think that's great. And because I know a number of people that are like, oh, you know, I've never played Terra Mystica. I'm a little worried about it. I think the tutorial does a really decent job of getting you going and understanding. And because it's an app, it's your time only. You can do what you want. You know, grab the app, start digging through it. If something doesn't make sense, just play around with it, you know, and sometimes experience is the best teacher, right? One other thing that I wanted to go through here we'll look at the shopping cart. There's that beautiful Fire and Ice is coming. Oh, that's right. There was a question about the AI and what I think about the AI. I think the AIs are fine because I am terrible at this game. So I have not won the game in app form yet. I am consistently beaten to a pulp by the AIs that are labeled easy, which is a real blow to my ego. I can't really speak for more advanced Terra Mystica players. I know Terra Mystica players that they've got this game down, and I suspect that some of them might look at the easy AIs and blow past them. But I think that's fine. I think that knowing Digidice has more advanced AIs in the works, something that they're, I think it almost sounds like from my interactions with them, it's like a challenge to them to create these really difficult AIs that are going to be free upgrades to the app when they're available. I think I think the spectrum of AI challenge will definitely be there in this app for sure. Let's see. We talked through the game. We showed you some of the game. We showed you the different features. We showed you the tutorial. I think we walked through almost everything that we wanted to see. I don't, is this the same game? Oh, I loaded a different game. Oops. Oh, oh well. Oops, my bad. I had other games saved from previous tests, so there you go. Just to kind of wrap up, I think Terra Mystica did a great job of putting all this huge, big, heavy Euro game into an app form. I definitely recommend it on your tablet. If you have a tablet, it plays really well. I have played more games of it, though, on my phone than I have on my tablet, because my phone is what I have on me at any given time. So in spite of it being small, I think that it is definitely playable on a phone, because I have done that on the phone. If you're sight impaired, etc., it might be a challenge. I mean, that is no lie. I think all the information is available. I think it takes you 3 seconds of play to figure out where that information is that you want to access, and then you are off to the races. I think that the little aesthetic details that they added, like the animations and the sound effects, kind of up the play as well. And there you have it. That's the Terra Mystica app. iOS, Android, and Windows on release on the 20th, $9.99 for a phenomenally well done app of a very heavy game. I personally think it's a fair price. I'm a believer in premium pricing for apps, especially when they are high quality. Like this one, it offers you cross-platform play. So if your friend has an Android phone and you have an iPad, you can play against each other. Knowing that they have multiple AIs, new AIs coming up, and that they are already investing in the expansion as well, I think is awesome. So available in 2 days. That's Terra Mystica in app form from Digidiced. And if hopefully this little sneak peek gave you a little insight into what you can expect from the app, and you can go pick it up on Thursday from your relevant app store. There you have it. So thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate you joining me today. Thanks for your questions and helping me name the different parts of the game, like the sacred ovals. I appreciate that help as well. If you have any questions, Digidiced is available on Twitter at Digidiced. I'm available on Twitter. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on the app that I wasn't able to cover here as well. I'm at 425 Suzanne there. And hey, go check it out. Terra Mystica, the app, April 20th. Download it, iOS, Android, and Windows. And thank you everybody for joining me. We will see you soon. Bye.